Ian is in San Antonio on line 2.
Hey, Ian, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. I wanted to call in and talk about Impact because I kind of feel, and I don't know if it's because, and I don't blame people necessarily because they've, burned people so many times, but I really feel since they've been on Pop TV, and especially since Dutch Mantel took over in, March, as far as the, writing of the show goes, and maybe it's because I like old school professional wrestling a lot better. Mm-hmm. The shows have actually been really good and better than they have been in a while, and I saw them when they were horrible, like at the end of 2015, which was just the worst that I think I've ever seen. But, I mean, you're not going to tune into that show and see people, flipping people with their you-know-what, like, you see in other places. But, I mean, even if you like the flipping stuff, I mean, they have that. The X Division is really good. I mean, they have Matt Sydal now, and Desmond Xavier's really good, and Andrew Everett. And, honestly, considering everyone, like the roster per roster and what they're allowed to do, I'd say they have the best talkers in wrestling, which is something that you don't really have on a lot of other places.
I don't know about that.
Wow.
The best talkers in wrestling?
Kevin Owens is good, okay? But look, like, consistently, like, every person on the WWE roster, like, they have a few people, like, they have the best. WWE has the best, like one or two. Okay, like Kevin Owens is really, really good. He's up there.
Hey, man,
but, I mean,
this week...
more good talkers on Impact.
Ian, this week I saw Cass and Carmella cut killer promos on Monday and Tuesday.
They did. But
well,
look,
tell me who cut a good promo on Impact this week, because I missed it.
EC3 cuts good promos almost every week. Alberto El Patron at Impact is really good.
No, I don't think
Bobby
so.
Lashley.
Bobby Lashley is an interesting character. I tell you, though, let me throw something at you, though, Ian. We were talking about this before the show. Scott Steiner's a killer promo. Where the hell has he been leading up to this match? Why don't you, if you have a guy like Scott Steiner, why isn't he on TV each and every week cutting a promo? Because that's what he's good at.
I hear you guys talk about every week how you guys don't like how they push the announcer feud too much.
The announcer feud is terrible because of the way they're pushing it.
Exactly, because they're doing stupid vignettes. When you've got someone that can talk and who's a big star to the average wrestling fan, he should be out there as part of this friggin' build for this match.
I think you're right. I think they should have Scott Steiner more. He's just nuts. I want him more.
He's crazy. He's
like, dude, you can't tell me that this...
They put everything... I think it's because they're trying to do more with their online stuff, because they've released a lot of stuff with him cutting promos like on their YouTube thing.
Yeah, but dude, hardly anyone's watching the TV.
Right. I think he should be on TV. I do think he should be on TV.
And how can you say to me that I'm going to be captivated by a pay-per-view where the main event angle is about two announcers having a match? It's crap.
Is the World Championship. That is going to main event the show. If it doesn't,
but what's being pushed the most on the show?
I will call in on that night. If it
listen,
on the next
what's being pushed the most on the show right now? The match with the announcers.
Because they're in the booth. They don't have anyone else calling the show. But it has
No. There's been like 4 or 5 segments per show outside of them doing the commentary around that angle. It's crap. I'm not going to watch a pay-per-view where the top angle is 2 announcers fighting.
They're trying to do this. They're trying to get over the same way, like when they do these vignettes about certain things that are not the main event program necessarily in the WWE. They do it there too. They have a little whenever Daniel Bryan and Kane were together as Team Hell No, how many vignettes were there per night on that? CM Punk was the world champion. John Cena was in the main event, but they didn't have that many segments, so they maybe had 1 or 2. It's just that same thing. And
dude, I bet you that match is second from the top. I bet you it's co-main event on that show.
I bet you it might be, but it's not the main event. I promise you. And if it is, I will call in and I will tell you I'm sorry. Y'all were right.
Ian, call us next week, Ian, because we'd like some feedback over for Slammiversary next week.
You might be the only one watching. Yeah.